Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you are a new subscriber, if this is your first time watching, thank you and welcome. So excited to have you here for today's build, which is an art center that is meant for the whole family. So it's a lot of emphasis on like kids' art stuff with activity tables and stuff like that, but it is a place where the whole family can come to skill up on creativity, painting, all of the different creative endeavors that you can imagine in The Sims 4. I also decided to add in a painting studio kind of in the back patio area so that you can paint from reference. I think that's an underused aspect of the game, at least for how much I use painting and that painting career and how much I like creative things. I don't paint from reference nearly enough. And I think when you make such elaborate builds and you put time into your cast and all of these things, why wouldn't you want to paint from reference? So I do need to be remembering to do that in my save file, but I thought of it when I was making this. So because it's an art center, I wanted the exterior of the building to be really bright, a contemporary and modern feel, somewhere that you walk up and you're like, yes, creative things happen here, for sure. When I was making the entranceway too, I thought to put down some murals on the ground out front, which will be such a cute feature for each individual person who plays with this lot, because all of those murals will be different, which I love it. I love it. Which is a perfect reminder, if you're interested in downloading this build and putting it in your own save file, you can find my EA ID in the description box below, and you can just search me up on the gallery and see pretty much all of the builds that I make in The Sims 4. Sometimes you see builds early on the gallery before I've actually put out a video. The gallery is a good time. I wish there was a bit more of a social component to it, but I think in The Sims 5, that's something I really hope comes along. I hope they just expand their platform to make it easier for Simmers to share their creations with one another and for kind of like communities to crop up with The Sims. I think that would be great. Also, you'll notice there's tons of landscaping and gardening related stuff. In my own save file right now, I've been making a neighborhood that's all like all green footprint. So that's been inspiring a lot of my builds. So that's why this build is very lush. And there's also like a bunch of solar panels on the roof. It really can be tough pushing a lot to eco-friendliness if it's otherwise kind of just a normal building, like regular lights and all that stuff. You need a ton of solar panels and a ton of landscaping to make up for that. I don't know if people who watch my content play with eco lifestyle that much, but I really enjoy the pack, and yeah, it is a tough task. But I think that is why I like it. I love challenges both in The Sims and in real life. Eco lifestyle has no lack of challenges. And really, if you're like, oh, my gameplay is like too easy, like The Sims is too easy for me, probably not so much the case right now because of the infant update, but I would definitely suggest playing with eco lifestyle. That is tough, and you actually have to be like really focused on your gameplay. So here I am making the first indoor art room, which I think of as kind of like a traditional painter's art classroom. I made sure to put in some sinks because it drives me nuts not to see that kind of realism as someone who's done a lot of painting. Got some newspaper on the ground, which is one of my favorite clutter items to keep everything clean. And yeah, I think this is a really awesome space. It uses those easels that they have like an inspired buff that's pretty high. So if you use this lot, not only are you getting to use like really nice easels, but with all the buffs and everything else, you will gain painting skill so quickly in this art room specifically. One of the video ideas I'm hoping to make pretty soon is actually looking up CC art pieces, and also I want to find like art related clutter. It's just something specific I really like, and there's so much in the way of CC, just mods, all of that. It's really overwhelming to me. So to be able to do something really specific that is a random detail that pretty much only I want in The Sims, I have a feeling, is nice just to pad out my gameplay. Recently, I've been super nostalgic about art classes that I've taken over the years, and I definitely was putting some of that energy into this. I've spent a lot of the past few months making a lot of visual art and just like reflecting on my experiences and being, like I said, just super nostalgic. So this build was a lot of fun, because in some ways it felt like a trip down memory lane. Like, if I could go back and recreate the painting classroom from my cat is freaking out. If I could recreate my high school's art room, what would it kind of look like today? It's also something that I really couldn't recreate in The Sims fully, but I was just talking the other day about how much time I spent in my high school's darkroom doing black and white film photography. Oh my goodness, I would kill to make that in The Sims. I might anyway, and just pretend and have use the photo capabilities that we have to the best of my ability. But am I the only one who wants film photography in The Sims? That is so oddly specific. That's ridiculous. And here I am working on the kids' creative room. We have some friendship bracelet making kits and some activity tables, obviously. So great little spot for kids to come and make some photos. It'd be really cute to put some of the drawings on the wall if you wanted to. Maybe next time I'll have like some sort of cork board and then you can like free place drawings onto it. I think that would be really cute. Oh man, that would be such a nice feature for that drawing board that you can see in this build a couple of times that came with growing together. It would be so nice if you could swap those out with drawings that your kids had made. If anyone watching this is a modder, please take that idea and do something with it. I will give you my money. Anywho, I also have a room for infants and toddlers. There are some pack and play crib mobile things in there, as well as some play mats and a bunch of toys, a bookshelf. So infants are not left out in this art build. While it's obviously not super meant for, little kids, it is nice if you want your kids to still be around. Maybe you could bring your whole family and then 2 of your Sims are in here and then your other Sims are leveling up in painting or something like that. The thing with community lots is it's kind of nice to go overboard a little bit, plan for more things than you think you really need in a space, because you never know when you'll need it. There are lots of different saves that you can have. So upstairs, there's a little bit of a different vibe. For some reason, I kind of got off track and decided to make this sort of a rec center vibe on the top floor. It kind of reminds me of this like music school that I went to as a kid. I kind of had that in mind, this sort of like eclectic, really like family chill space. And I just imagined people coming up here and having it be like more community art rather than this like really sterile art museum or something. So there's a piano, there's a guitar, there's a little bar area. I also put in a few chess tables, so it's nice to have a space where there can be a lot of Sims that congregate together. This wouldn't be a terrible space to have as a event venue or something. There's the bars that are outside in the back, as well as this bar that is upstairs. So while it's not the most traditional and your Sims most likely will get kind of confused, I like the idea that this space could be used for events. Maybe a club gathering wouldn't be bad, like maybe a music club or like some sort of social like comedy. I don't know. There's a lot of options. I also think clubs are such an underrated feature of The Sims 4. I love them. I try and use them as much as possible. One of my favorite ways to use them is for like family gatherings. So, for example, I have in my save file that I mention all the time, my like new crest building out. I have some sisters, and so I created a club for them that was just sisters to get together. And I've since kind of expanded it to their families now that they have families. And it's just a really easy way to stay organized. You know, the infant update combined with all of the new Growing Together expansion pack features has really inspired me. Finally, really wanting to build out a save file in Newcrest and really get detail in legacies and gameplay and intimacy and complicated relationships that I've never been able to create in The Sims. And how long has this franchise been out? It's ridiculous. So that has been really cool to see lately. I'm a tiny bit concerned that the infant update and all of the changes in the past few months might actually kind of be the last big thing that happens for The Sims 4. I kind of have a theory that next year might be the close of the franchise as the 10-year anniversary rolls around. We've seen how much the game has changed recently, and I'm kind of scrounging my brain to think of what else they could do. I also made this really cute gallery wall in the sort of like entrance exit to the upstairs that's all sort of like browns, blacks, creams that I really enjoyed. I've been making a lot of gallery walls lately, and yeah, it's a good time. I want to thank you so much for watching this far into the video. Just know that means you're a real one. And if you haven't gotten a chance to subscribe already, I would love if you would join us. I am on my journey to 100 subscribers. I'm about halfway there as of recording, and I'm excited to invite more to hang out with us. Keep an eye out this week because another installment of my Rainbow Build series will be coming out. If you haven't seen those already, I would definitely check out the playlist. I can link it right here in the card. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.